The power of Jesus' disciples was the subject of quiet whispers and awe among the people who followed him. To many, they seemed like ordinary men, fishermen, tax collectors, and humble townsfolk drawn by Jesus' call. But under his guidance, these 12 individuals became more than just students. They became vessels of a mysterious power that they had never before experienced. One evening, Jesus gathered his disciples on a quiet hillside. The moon was full, casting a gentle glow over the landscape. The disciples, tired from a long day of traveling and teaching, sat together, wondering what Jesus might reveal next. He looked at each of them, his gaze deep and knowing, as though he saw a potential within them that even they hadn't recognized. "Tonight, I will give you authority over unclean spirits to drive them out and to heal every disease and sickness," Jesus said, his voice calm yet filled with purpose. The disciples looked at one another in astonishment. They had witnessed Jesus perform incredible miracles, but they could hardly imagine that they too could carry such powers. Peter, bold and questioning as ever, asked, "But Lord, how can we, simple men, do such things? You are the Son of God, and we are but your followers." Jesus smiled, a warmth and confidence radiating from him. "It is not by your own strength, but by faith," he explained. "Believe that God's love flows through you as it does through me. In that faith, there is no limit to what you can accomplish." The next day, Jesus sent the disciples out in pairs to the nearby villages. He instructed them to take nothing for their journey: no money, no food, not even an extra tunic. They were to depend solely on the hospitality of those they met, trusting that God would provide for them through the kindness of strangers. As they went forth, the disciples felt a strange energy stirring within them. It was as though the presence of Jesus, his teachings, and his love had planted a seed of courage in their hearts. They entered the villages with a mixture of fear and excitement, unsure of what awaited them. In one village, John and James encountered a man who had been blind since birth. The man was known in the area for his resilience despite his condition, but he was burdened by years of solitude and despair. John, recalling Jesus' words, placed his hands gently on the man's shoulders. Feeling a warmth course through him, he closed his eyes and prayed, letting go of his doubts and surrendering fully to his faith. When John opened his eyes, he saw the man blinking, his eyes filled with wonder. The man looked around, seeing the world for the first time, and tears of joy streamed down his face. The people in the village gathered, astonished at the miracle they had witnessed, and word quickly spread of the mysterious power of Jesus' disciples. In another town, Peter and Andrew encountered a young boy possessed by an unclean spirit, his family desperate for relief. The boy would suffer violent episodes, and no healer had been able to help. Peter, brimming with a newfound courage, spoke firmly to the spirit, commanding it to leave the child in the name of the God of Israel. The child fell still, and his anguished cries ceased. When he awoke, he looked up at his parents with clear eyes, his face calm and peaceful. The disciples returned from their journey, stories of healing and freedom filling their hearts. They gathered once more on the hillside, each one transformed by their experiences. As they shared their stories with Jesus, he listened quietly, pride and joy evident in his expression. He reminded them, however, that the power they carried was not of their own making, but a gift of love, a reflection of God's compassion for all who suffer. From that day onward, the disciples understood their calling in a new light. They weren't merely followers, they were entrusted with a mission of healing, a reflection of the love and compassion they had learned from Jesus. In the weeks and months that followed, they continued to spread this gift, becoming not only messengers of Jesus' teachings, but living embodiments of his mysterious, transformative power.